Three questions very much related to the issues at home. Rhetoric versus reality, not enough money, and possibly it being spent on the wrong priorities. Who wants to kick off?
Well, can I just say one thing? I mean, the way to do this, I think, is to embrace the concept that's been called negawatts. Negawatts. That is, saving energy is just as good a contribution as putting in renewable, as displacing fossil fuel energy, and they get the same sort of support, basically. So unifying these, which I think is what all three questioners were talking about, really is the way to do this. No government has really done this yet. There are municipalities in the U.S. that have done some of this, but I think that's the policy direction which can work.
Jenny.
Well, you see, obviously, I'm talking to an audience that's much better informed than a lot of the audiences to which I talk, and it's nice to know that energy efficiency, though not sexy, is something that you guys all know about, and I shall go away with a much more chirpily than I often do. I mean, the issue of the gap between rhetoric and reality is one with which I wrestle all the time, and I have huge sympathy with you guys on the ground who are saying, okay, we know it works, we want to do it, please give me the money, actually to turn this into reality. I have to say that what we're getting from government is deeply depressing from the point of view of all of that. I have, as a campaigner, you could actually say that I spend my life beating my head professionally against a brick wall, so God knows why I still do it, but there's some kind of fun in it. I've spent the major part of this parliamentary session actually helping one of Simon's Liberal Democrat colleagues, David Heath, the MP for Somerton and Frome, promote a bill designed to make substantial inroads into the fight against fuel poverty, which is basically about people, being too poor to heat their homes adequately, both down to income issues, but as often down to the appalling quality of our housing stock and a lot of our social housing stock in particular. And the bill quite simply required the homes of the fuel poor to be brought up to the energy efficiency standards required for new homes by building regulations. And a huge variety of organisations, not just ourselves, but charities like, Friends of the Earth in particular, Macmillan Cancer Support, Consumer Focus, we were all kind of beating a path to death's door, saying, come on, you keep talking about how you want to meet your fuel poverty targets, support this bill, get on and put your not sure I'm not drowning in this analogy, but put your money where your mouth is, essentially. And we have met with a consistent brick wall of the nature that I described. And it's depressing. It's incredibly depressing because unless we start to improve our housing stock, starting preferably with the housing stock lived in by our most vulnerable people, then we're not going to get those kinds of energy efficiency improvements that we all want to see, and we're not going to get the carbon reductions that the government says that it wants to see. So, I'll carry on beating my head against a proverbial brick wall. I'm sure people like Simon will do likewise, and I have to remain optimistic. Otherwise, I don't know. Otherwise, I'd be taken off in a straitjacket, I suppose.
Okay, all right.